Michelle.
Hello, Victoria. Hello, everybody watching right now. How are y'all doing today?
Yes, thank you guys for joining us. If you guys are new and this is your first time watching Civics Chat, my name is Victoria and I'm the Civic Engagement Coordinator for Vecinos de Beaufort Highway.
And hello, everybody. My name is Michelle Zuluaga. I'm the Civic Participation Manager for the Latino Community Fund Georgia.
Okay, and we're really excited to talk about today's episode. I know I started off a little late, so let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about the District Attorney and the Public Service Commission. And these are just candidates that are going to be on your ballot on November 3rd. So these are really important to know just in case you get to the point you're like, what is this? I didn't know there was going to be anything else besides the president and the vice president.
We've all been there. There is no shame in your game. We've all been there. But that's why we're making this Ballot Box Series, guys, where every episode we're going to go over what's going to be on your ballot because, quite frankly, there's going to be quite a few positions. So I'm super excited we're going over this topic today.
Yes, so today we're going to be talking, like I said, about the District Attorney. So what exactly is the District Attorney? It is also known as the DA. If you have heard of just the DA, that's what they normally call them. So the DA is the prosecuting officer of a criminal case. So they handle a majority of the decisions in a criminal legal system. So they decide things like whether someone is charged with a crime or not, or they could be given a second chance. And in simpler terms, they also prosecute criminals, they prevent crime, and they also protect victims that have been part of a crime. So the DA really has a lot of power from just knowing their role. So they actually have the power to negotiate plea deals. And usually you have two options. You either have the option of negotiating a plea deal, or you have the other option of taking it to court. But usually, most of the time, people do take a plea deal. So some other examples that the DA does, just so you guys can get some perspective on how important the role is they provide any services to survivors of crime. They also decide whether they take property or even money, even if you aren't charged with the crime. They also decide whether someone serves a long sentence or a short sentence. And this one I think was really important, and I think it's interesting to know, but they also decide whether the system is charging someone unfairly based on things like their race or their class. So as you can honestly see, Michelle, like it has a lot of power, and I think some of the powers that they hold, like I didn't even know about it. I was like, wow, like sometimes their role seems more important than the actual judge.
Absolutely. And in times that we're living now, it is more important than ever for y'all to know what a district attorney does, the power that they do, and how it impacts all of our lives. So that's super important. And just so you know, there are different district attorneys. Just like the name says, it's per district. So, if some of y'all are watching us maybe in South Georgia, or if maybe some of you are watching us in North Georgia, we will have different candidates depending on what part of the state you're at. So that's super important.
Yes.
But this position will be up for election throughout the state, and actually, yeah, that's super important for everybody to know. So how many terms does a district attorney have?
They serve a term of 4 years. And like you said, it will be on our ballot. So what does that tell you guys? We decide who the DA is. So if you're not happy with your DA, go out and vote. And like Michelle said, there is one by district. So I know Michelle is in Fulton. So her district attorney is Paul L. Howard Jr. And me, I'm in DeKalb. So my district attorney is Sherry Boston. If you guys are also in DeKalb, comment down below. But yeah, and so the district attorney is, determined by us. Like we go out, we vote for them. So it really does make a difference when you see like how much power they have, and it really does motivate me, especially like, okay, I have to get to the polls and I have to vote because this is a very important role. And we often think like, we don't have the power to do anything, but just remember the DA is elected by us, so they work for us.
Absolutely. So when you don't like what your district attorney is doing, or how the police department in your area or how crime is being dealt with, you have the power to change that through your vote, right? That's a direct way that you can impact, especially big movements that's happening right now, such as Black Lives Matter. That is super important for us to know that, well, if we want to see a change, you can vote. Or maybe some of y'all who are okay, you can vote for that as well. Everybody has a right to vote how they want to, but just know that district attorneys are going to be on your ballot this year in November, and it's very important for you to know that you will be voting for this position. Now, one question, I would really love for people who are watching us to run for office one day and hopefully be a future district attorney. So what are the qualifications?
Okay, so some qualifications that the DA has to have in order to become a DA is they must be a resident or a citizen of the state in which, for 3 years, in which they're running for. They also have to permanently reside in that circuit at the time of the election or the appointment. They must be at least 25 years old, and they must have been duly admitted and licensed to practice law in the Superior Courts for at least 3 years. So they must have experience for at least 3 years in order to become a DA. And if they are disbarred from practice law, they must have been reinstated as provided by law in that state. So they must have an active status member in the state bar of Georgia for at least 3 years in order to become a DA.
Very interesting. So is it fair to say that, and I'm going to, just like a lot of people that are watching here, so to be a district attorney, you have to be a lawyer or have a license to practice law. That's super interesting. So all of you future lawyers, I know a couple of y'all that are in law school right now. This is something that you should definitely keep your eyes on, especially if we want to see the change of everything that's happening right now. Very important for y'all to be aware of that. So now that we have talked about district attorneys and the fact that they are going to be on the ballot, now we're going to talk about public service commissioners, another position or another office that is going to be on the ballot. So what does a public service commission does? So the Public Service Commission ensures that consumers receive safe, reliable, and reasonably priced telecommunications, electronic, and natural gas services. So this is your water, your light bill. This is your cell phone. This is everything that you use every single day to survive, to be able to work from your home, get good infrastructure for Wi-Fi, right? Internet, especially now in the middle of a pandemic, is so essential for so many people to maintain their jobs. Clean, portable water, that is so important. So this position will definitely be on your ballot, and it's very important for us to elect people who are qualified and people who know what they're doing when it comes to this, because we've seen big disasters happen in portable water, right? With electricity going out, with bad infrastructure and internet and so on and so forth. So very, very important. This is definitely something that impacts all of our lives. How many members are in Public Service Commission? Five public service commissioners. And then how are they chosen? They are chosen statewide through the election on November 3rd. Very simple stuff. So to promote the constitutional